So I'll just talk while the video goes, but the first feature I wanted to put in was the most noticeable thing, the many balls that drop into it at the very beginning. During the tutorial, they had us make all of these interactable objects. They were just a few cubes, and they're very simplistic, and they just kind of sat on the board and didn't really offer anything. There was no reason to collide with them. So I thought of kind of upping the ante and making about, I think I made about 40, 42 of these balls or somewhere around that. And I just thought it'd be fun to drop them in randomly. And as you can see, it offers sort of like a cluttering effect, but I can go back. Let's do this. The very beginning, as they drop in, they're very dense, and you kind of work your way through them, collecting these cubes. And the enemies themselves, because of their AI navigation, they won't fully collide with them. So the balls offer something of a challenge, something to work through, but at the same time, they give a defense between the player. It's something where if they're starting to crowd you, all four of the enemies, you can kind of push some balls in their way and they have to work through them to try to get to you. And then further towards the end of the game, as you're collecting most of the gold and you're almost done, ooh, they almost got me. Once you're almost done, they start to disperse towards the corners and it opens the board up even more to the enemies and they can get to you quicker. So it's just that kind of happened almost as an accident, I would say. Just going to restart the video. Um, Second feature that I wanted to talk about was the enemies themselves as well. So the tutorial only really had one enemy in there, and it was fun, but I didn't feel as chased, and it was much easier to collect all the coins and just win the game and be done. And losing it was simply a matter of just not rolling anymore, just holding still and letting the enemy catch up with you. And I thought, what is the point of that? So I found it much more exciting to basically just print out the code and do it 4 times over and make several different shapes. So my narrative was kind of to have a big fat squatty one and sort of a tall one, and then two little skinny ones that were super fast. And you can already tell the big one interacts with, like right here, the big one interacts with the balls differently because they have a wider space. The small ones are able to navigate this area much more quickly, so they catch up with you a lot quicker. And then the tall one is sort of like a placeholder and almost looks like a captain in a way, gives that effect. It's all very simple. You have to use your imagination, of course, but that was the idea that I was going for. And like right here, they almost get you. That's the whole point. It's supposed to give this very stressful multitasking kind of aspect to the whole game, where I'm focusing on controlling the player, trying to get through all these balls, ride on the ramps, and collect all the coins. And at the same time, I'm keeping track of 4 different enemies moving at different rates. And then the final feature I really wanted to talk about is the board itself. I really wanted it to have this very like kind of ancient, decrepit look, kind of like a Stonehenge idea, if you will. A lot of pillars leaning on things, stuff that's been slowly just melding with the ground itself because it's so ancient. I would have loved to maybe add a couple more um, pieces of rubble around the edges and underneath certain stones. I ran out of time, but I would like to build on this a little bit more and add these certain features into it. Add little chips and maybe little merlins and other little features into the edges of the walls themselves and whatnot. So yeah, those are the main ideas that I was going for. I just wanted to make it mayhem, be very fun and make you feel like being chased around and kind of stealing these gold cubes. Thank you.